flinttalkradio.com. You're tuning in to this special Vampire Ball Eashoo program. For many of you guys that have tuned in and watched, I'm usually on the air on Wednesdays from 4:30 to 5:30 p.m. on flinttalkradio.com. Today we decided to come in my 70s get-up attire. What I'll be wearing tonight to the Vampire Ball. And many of you that have been watching this before, tickets are still available. The Vampire Ball is happening tonight, downtown Flint, at the historic and haunted Masonic Temple. Tickets are available at the door. They're $25 at the door, $20 in advance. All proceeds go to the Flint Farmers Market, where you can basically help preserve the market, keep it running, and keep improving it. That's very, very important. So basically tonight, Vampire Ball, Masonic Temple, 7:30 till I believe about midnight. They're having bands, they're having belly dancers, food, drinks, a lot of entertainment, and a lot of people are going to be there. You can come whatever you want. A lot of people are doing the vampire theme, and they're coming as some sort of vampire. I will be a 70s vampire. My polyester suit here, my Afro, and I'll have fangs. Actually, I'll have fangs and stuff as well. So it's going to be a good time. A lot of people are going. I know it's an event that you don't want to miss. So make sure you check it out, the Vampire Ball. For more information, you can go to www.vertigotheatrics.com. That's vertigotheatrics.com. You can call them, get online, talk to them, get your tickets, or just show up at the door. A lot of people are decided they're going to go to the Vampire Ball and then go to some of the bars and restaurants downtown during the event. So it's going to be a fun night in downtown Flint, a night you're not going to want to miss. So make sure you come down and check it out. This morning I went to the House of Hair. Lori, she actually does my hair. And I went to her today to get my hair done, and she basically gave me this man perm, or whatever you want to call it, to make me look like I'm in the 70s. So it was quite the experience. It took about 2.5 hours to do, and it was fun. It was interesting. It hurt a little bit, actually. I had to sit in the dryer, and now I appreciate all those old women that go there and get their hair done, because it's a whole day thing. I mean, basically you're there the whole darn day, and they're curling you up and under the blow dryer, and then all these women are talking about different things, and it's quite the experience. I kind of left there like exhausted. But hopefully you guys will come to the Vampire Ball tonight. It's going to be a good time. It only happens once a year, so if you miss it, you're out till next year. A lot of people are going to be there. Wednesday, Lee Friday is going to be there. Voltaire is going to be there. A lot of other authors and bands, belly dancers, food, music, drinks. Tonight, Masonic Temple, downtown Flint. You're going to want to check it out. I'll be there. Come and say hi if you're there. Something else I wanted to talk about today is the recent shooting in Mott Park. Thursday, a 77-year-old man in Mott Park was shot. And as the president of the Mott Park Neighborhood Association said, it's a tipping point of an epidemic of crime. And this is really sad, because a gentleman, 77 years old, Pat Gillespie of Flint, who lives in Mott Park, was unloading groceries when two thugs came up to him and decided to demand money from him. Police reports say that he threw a 2-liter pop at him, and then they shot him in the groin area. He was rushed to the hospital, where he was not in critical condition but did suffer injuries. And it's really, really sad that it's come to this, that someone's going to torment and burglarize a 77-year-old man in Mott Park, which is a great neighborhood. I have a lot of friends over there. They really like it. And I'm quoting from the Flint Journal, resident Don Perdue, 52, who was with Pat Gillespie moments before he was shot, was critical of the Flint Police Department. He says the system they have is not working. And I couldn't agree more, Don. The system is not working. The crime is out of control in the city of Flint. And the citizens, we can't have candlelight vigils anymore. We need to come together as a community, demand that the police are out there, they're active, and they're patrolling our streets, that response times are quick and efficient, and people of Flint pay their tax dollars to make sure that the police force is there to protect them, and they're not. And I'm not criticizing the police department, because I have a lot of friends that work at the Flint Police Department, and they're understaffed. They don't have the manpower. They don't have the equipment. They don't have the investigators. They don't even have the. If you used to have, they used to have a business card they would give you if you made a police report. And I made a police report a while ago, and the police officer that was there said, well, I'm going to write it on a piece of paper for you, your complaint number and all this. And I said, well, where's the little cards you guys gave out? And he said, oh, we don't have those. We haven't had those in a long time. So we need to get together with our mayor, with our city council people, with our neighbors, and demand that the police protection be out there. Because I'm telling you what, people, we got to defend ourselves. We can't wait for the police to come and hopefully they'll show up. We want to make sure that the police come and when they're supposed to by calling 911. And I know that there was a protest on City Hall. Basically, Mayor Dane Walling's spokesperson, Don Jones, and 6th Ward City Councilman Sheldon Neely, Flint Police Chief Elvin Locke met with residents to ensure them that safety is a top priority. Mike Gillespie, the son of Pat Gillespie, who was shot, says hopefully something good will come out of this. And, you know, something good has not come out of this based on the fact that his father was shot. And I want to know what the people of Flint think. What do you think we need to do to ensure the safety of the residents and the business people and the people that come in and shop and eat in our community? What about all the people that live in the neighborhoods where we don't have enough or adequate police protection? I want to hear from you guys. What do you guys think? What do we need to do to protect the residents of the city of Flint? And you can give us a call at 208-1854. That's 208-1854. Let me know what we can do to ensure that the citizens of Flint are protected. What can we do to make the police, more responsive? What I think is we got to hire police back. We need to make cuts not in public safety, but we need to make cuts in other areas to keep the police and the fire people on the streets protecting us. And I think a lot of people agree. We have Woody Wood 661 just joined us. Welcome to the Ryan Eashoo Show. He says neighborhood watch like in California. Well, Woody, we need neighborhood watches, and we have them here in the city of Flint. But unfortunately, you call the police, and sometimes 911's busy. I mean, has anybody ever heard of such a thing? That 911 is busy?
Well, also the mayor of Flint, actually, he had the neighborhood crime watch, crime watches and stuff, Mayor Walling, and
Right.
Now I guess he doesn't want to work with the ones that are already established.
Huh.
Yeah, that was in the paper. I read that somewhere a few weeks ago.
Wow.
I was kind of taken back. Well, you got this place on the ground already, but yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I mean, it's like I just thought that was important to interject there because Walling doesn't want to work with the existing ones, so. That was weird, I thought. That's why I'm pretty certain that it said. I'm like, this is bizarre. Why wouldn't you want to take that opportunity to work with the things that are already on the ground,
Especially if they're established
Right.
and they're already working and functioning in a good manner, John?
Yeah, that surprised me, man. But I mean, we get.
Well, hopefully we'll get Mayor Dane Walling on the show here soon to talk with us. And Woody Wood said more street lights. And I agree with you. We need to basically come up with a comprehensive plan that's going to protect the residents and businesses and citizens of Flint. And it's not going to be easy, and it's not going to be cheap. And we want to hear from you. You can join us live at flinttalkradio.com. You can call in at 810-208-1854, or you can chat live in our chat room.
By the way, yeah, I don't know if you read Flint Talk too much. I think you do. Flint Talk, the sister site to this.
Oh yes, yep.
Larry Flint of Flint. That. He's like he posts there, and he talks about his plan for it. It's actually pretty doable. I mean, but some of the cameras right now, webcams are not that expensive. You can get ones for outdoors that you can get pretty cheap, maybe $100.
Right.
And they can they got the phone lines right next to the telephone poles anyway. You can run that way. The cable. Maybe it can make Comcast actually. See if they can come on board and actually install some of that stuff to, they can go along with, can piggyback on their signal and send the signal to the, to a watch area, where people are watching
Right.
that particular area. And it's like, I hate being totally wired for sound, but I mean, I think that might be a doable solution in the city.
We got to start somewhere, John, and I think that we have to come together, and I'm not criticizing the people that had the candlelight vigils or they marched in City Hall, but we got to unite, all 9 wards, Black, white, Mexican, Hispanic, Arab, whoever you are, young and old. We have to come together. And we need to come together and demand that our tax dollars are used in a manner that's going to protect the citizens of Flint. And give the police officers the resources. They're out there every day risking their life for us, okay? We need to give them the resources to enable them to protect us. But we can't just expect that a police officer is going to protect us 24/7. We need to be responsible for ourselves, and we need to learn how to defend ourselves. So what I'm saying is I'm saying that we need to learn self-defense classes and mechanisms. We need to bear arms. I mean, you need to bear arms. People, are out there saying, oh, we don't need no more guns on the street. Well, wait a minute. The guns are our right to protect ourselves. We have the right to bear arms, and we have the right to protect ourselves. I'm not saying shoot everybody up, but like Mr. Gillespie here, who was attacked outside of his home, 77-year-old man while unloading groceries, if he had a gun, that situation might have been different, and those people might not have attacked him and shot him in the groin,
Yeah, see, I just got a mailing from I belong to the NRA. Yeah, I'm one of those rednecks, But anyway, they got a thing on there about how many times it's a research that's done, and it's like where people actually defend themselves with firearms. And these naysayers say they don't need firearms, and they don't need them at all, and all this stuff. There's no need for firearms in this country, but they say from anywhere from 2.1 million to 2.5 million times each year, citizens defend themselves with firearms. 90% of those instances are actually just used. The handgun is just used as a deterrent. They pull it. The gun is just to pull the gun, not just a handgun. The guns are just pulled. The perpetrators flee. Right. 90% doesn't require any shooting at it whatsoever. 90% of the cases.
Sure.
So okay, but you got people out there say we don't need firearms. I mean, the cops can't. Like, we have an expression in the gun circle that what I'm part of. It says police are minutes away when seconds count.
Well, what do you think? You can join the discussion now at flinttalkradio.com. Enter the chat room. You can stream. Join us via your video camera. We can talk face to face. Or you can call in the show at 810-208-1854. Or go to the RyanEashooshow.com. Send an email. You can send it to ryaneashoo@aol.com. And actually, we received an email here from our friend Mike in Clio. Mike says, Ryan, we need to defend ourselves, and everyone needs to go out and get a gun right away. This country's going down the shitter quick. Mike, great words there, Mike. But, we need to defend ourselves. And that's one of the things I'm going to look into between now and next week. I'm going to try to put together self-defense classes for the residents of the city of Flint. And what I'm talking about here is I'm going to contact some of the karate schools. I'm going to contact some of the people that teach the gun safety classes. And let's have an expo, Protect Yourself Expo, where we're going to bring the people that can help, basically, teach us to defend ourselves better to the people at free of charge. And I think we could get people out there in the community that care about this city that would come and do kind of like a hands-on type thing. Show you moves, what you can do and what to do and how to handle yourself. Teach us how to shoot a gun. Teach us karate moves. Woody Wood in our chat room mentioned pepper spray or taser. I think that's a great idea. Whatever we need to do to protect ourselves, we need to do. We need to enableize and get the neighborhood watches going and make sure that they're getting the proper support from Flint City Hall that we know that they need. So we need to do that as well. But I read that article in the Flint Journal, actually on mlive.com, and I was very saddened. And actually about 2 or 3 friends of mine who live in the Mott Park neighborhood called me up, and they were all upset. And one of them, she called me, and she said, I want to move. Come and list my house. That's how scared she is. She's scared. And, she called her city council person. He said, we're doing the best we can. She called the mayor's office. The mayor's office told us we have limited resources. And to be honest, and to be fair to Mayor Dane Walling, he does. But we have to come together. I hate to say this because I'm not a tax the people kind of thing, but we need to have people out on the streets in neighborhood watches. We need to teach the residents how to defend themselves. We need to have the police that are there more efficient, and we need to hire more police officers. We need to put more police officers on the street, and we need to protect the people, the children, the women, and make sure that if something happens like this again, that no one's going to get shot. It could have been worse. Another 6 inches up, Mr. Gillespie might not be with us today. And that would be a crime and shame, especially for a neighborhood like Mott Park that's close to Kettering University. Let's not forget the #1 engineering college or university in the country is right here in Flint, Michigan. And it's only about 4 or 5 blocks from where Mr. Gillespie was shot. So we don't want to scare the potential students from coming to Kettering University. We want to make sure that they know that it's a safe area. President of the Mott Park Neighborhood Association, Marta Weingard Tavakoli, I'm sure I'm slaughtering that. She says, we, the Mott Park residents, come to march against the economy of crime that is festering like a cancer and taking our neighborhood, she said at the rally in front of City Hall. And it sounds like they had about 45 people attend this rally. which is one hell of a turnout, especially during a weekday. It was held on Thursday at Flint City Hall. But what are your guys' idea? You guys are out there talking. What's your idea? What do we need to do to protect us, to improve our neighborhoods, to make it more safe? We want to hear from you. And I'm reading some of the comments that people wrote in there on MLive, and one of the guys says, Goab, G-O-A-B, said, if you want to help the residents, Mr. Walling, offer a free CCW class and give them a gun to use. If you go down a little bit farther, you have Michigan Sue says, no CCW permits. This was not about who was more important. It's about action, period. The North End used to be a wonderful part of town. Over the years, folks gave up. Got to nip this one in the bud. You know, we do. It's not just North End, it's South Side, West Side, East Side. It's the city as a whole, and we must come together to stop it. We're going to take your calls now. We're going to go to a short commercial break, but after this, we're going to talk about what can we do, what kind of action can we do, and let's talk about putting a class together to make people responsible, to teach people how to protect themselves, and to make sure that this event that happened to Mr. Gillespie never happens again after this.
FlintTalkRadio.com.
Most of us in this city get caught in a rut from time to time and forget that there are many great opportunities and many choices, especially when you're looking for good food. After driving past the rows of Coney Islands and taco stands, if you keep your eyes peeled and read the signs, you can find a handful of restaurants that are doing something different. The Lunch Studio is one of those places. Located in downtown Flint at 444 South Saginaw Street, the staff of the Lunch Studio has been serving the area a healthy alternative to the burger, coney, and taco monotony since December of 2001. The Lunch Studio has succeeded in providing the community a fresh, delicious breakfast and lunch in a relaxing and comfortable atmosphere. So check out the Lunch Studio next time you're in beautiful downtown Flint, Michigan.
Hey, I'm Dangerously, and you may have read my short story Till Death Do Us Part in the New York Times best-selling anthology Succulent, Chocolate Flavor 2, presented by Zane. Well, things get even hotter between the pages of Keep Your Panties Up and Your Skirt Down. Check it out at pantiesupskirtdown.com. And remember, keep it dangerous.
Have you ever thought about becoming a podcaster? Are you a talk show host that's looking for additional ways to get your message out? Are you a business that wants to expand its advertising to the ever-growing podcast listening audience? I have 3 words for you. Flint Talk Radio. At Flint Talk Radio, we have a professionally staffed recording studio located in Flint, Michigan that's sure to meet all your recording needs. Contact us for more information by going to flinttalkradio.com and click on the Contact Us link. That's flinttalkradio.com. flinttalkradio.com.
FlintTalkRadio.com. You're tuned in to the Ryan Eashoo Show. We have a little special show for you today. We're talking about the recent crime wave that's hit the city of Flint. What can we do about it? As citizens, as residents, as business owners, as college students, what can we do to protect ourselves and improve our great city of Flint? We're taking phone calls, we're taking emails, we're taking text messages now. You can go to flinttalkradio.com to join the discussion. Talk to us and tell us, what do you think we need to do to protect ourselves? John Wilson, our producer here, him and I were talking about what we need to do to protect ourselves. And, you know, we need to demand that, number one, there's adequate police protection, but also we can't rely on the police 24/7. We need to make sure that we're smart. We need to make sure that we're vigilant, and we need to make sure that if the problem does arise, how do you handle such a situation? If you were Mr. Gillespie there in Mott Park and you were unloading your groceries and 2 people came up to you and, you know, try to rob you, what would you do? What would I do? And that's the questions we need to ask ourselves to make sure that we're prepared in case something of this nature ever happened to us. And we were talking before the commercial break about putting together a class that would teach us how to get a gun, how to carry a gun, how to properly use a gun. What about self-defense? How do we, if someone's got a grip on us, what do we do to break that grip, or how do we do to enable our attacker, disable our attacker and be able to flee or get away from there, or call 911? What can we do? What about pepper spray, tasers, mace? Those are things that we can talk about that can help protect us. Also, neighborhood watches are a great tool for protecting neighborhoods, to keep eyes and ears out there watching, so that people that come into our neighborhoods, if they don't belong there, we need to call 911. I cannot urge you guys, your listeners, enough that if you see something suspicious in your neighborhood, somebody that doesn't belong, a car that looks weird, if somebody's gone and you see lights on in their house, call 911. That's what it's here for. And, I've called 911 before about stuff, and they told me, oh, it's not an emergency. Well, yes, it is. We want to make sure that we're one step ahead of the thieves and the crooks out there that are trying to violate us or hurt us or steal from us. We want to make sure that we're one step ahead and that does not happen to us. And let's not let what happened to Mr. Gillespie ever happen to the city of Flint again. Between now and my next show, I'm going to try to put together some people. I know some people that own karate studios that maybe we can get them together to offer free classes to the residents that were interested in attending, of course, and come and learn how to defend yourself. Also, maybe talk to some law enforcement people about how to start a neighborhood watch, or start an organization of patrolling your neighborhood to make sure it's a safe neighborhood. Mayor Dane Walling this week did announce that he's trying and working on a plan to come up with an action plan to open up a police precinct in each ward. That'd be 9 police precincts in each ward to help combat the crime that's happened. He's working with the council people and the police chief, Elvin Locke, to come up with this plan. And it's going to take a little while to make sure this happens. Don Jones said Walling is working on a comprehensive public safety plan that would put a police precinct in each ward. We asked the citizens to get engaged in this process by calling 911 or the anonymous tip line when they see crime, Don Jones said. There's no quick fix, and it's going to take all of us in the community working together. And I agree 100%, Don. It's going to take all of us to come together as a community to embrace this, and it's going to be a multi-pronged approach. We're going to have to learn how to defend ourselves. What can we do? We need to learn how to demand better police protection from our elected officials and make sure our tax dollars are used how they should be. We need to maximize our tax dollars to work the best they can for us. Thirdly, we need to get more neighborhood watches active and people involved. Make sure that they're very efficient, and make sure they have the tools necessary to help improve the neighborhoods. I've lived in Flint for quite a while now, and we used to have a community police officer. This officer was assigned to our area, and this officer would come to our block club meetings and make sure that, if we had questions, they were answered. He would give us updates on crime, tell us techniques and things to use to protect ourselves. And I think we need to get back to that, because the community policing approach really did help us out a lot, and it did put people in control of their own neighborhoods. So what do you think? My number here is 810-208-1854. You can join us in our live chat at www.flinttalkradio.com and join us. Tell us what you think or what you want to talk about. And John, is there a neighborhood watch in your neighborhood there in the 3rd Ward?
Not that I'm aware of. And no, it's like it's crucial to have one, but I just I think there's supposed to be. See, that's what happened is they split us up. We used to be the part of the 4th Ward. Now we're in the 3rd Ward part where we're at now in the studio. It used to be firmly in the 4th Ward. Now it's in the 3rd Ward.
No, aren't we in Sandy Hills Ward right here?
No, this is 3rd Ward.
Really?
Yeah, it's 3rd Ward.
But we're on the east side.
No, they divided it up a few years ago, and a lot of people were confused about it. They thought they were in the 4th Ward for years, and they'd go to the voting places, and they were amazed that when they get the ballot, they had to vote for the 3rd Ward, and they didn't tell them. It wasn't a big thing. I guess it was in the journal, but I read it, but nobody else seemed to be reading it. But no, they definitely need we need a crime watch. We need crime watches. Another thing, cell phone. Everybody's got cell phones. Even people who don't have a job has got cell phones. So
right.
So I mean that's like I don't know if you ever heard of Masad Ayub.
No.
He's one of the most famous people for actually educating the public about how to use firearms. He's a
Really?
instructor. He's in New Hampshire. He's got the Lethal Force Institute, which is also for civilians as well as LEOs and law enforcement officers. And they actually asked them when they saw this drop in crime during this, just a few years ago, they had a drop in crime across the country. And they said, well, what do you attribute this to? Because more states adopted, shall issue permits, licensing procedures for handgun carry. And he thought for sure that he was going to say that's the reason why. He goes, because everybody's got cell phones. Everybody's more aware of stuff and they're using cell phones. And those can't be stressed enough. I mean,
and that's another program, John, I don't know if you've heard about, but the National Crime Prevention Group actually says that, you could keep old cell phones and give them to people because by law, the cell phone companies, even if you don't have minutes, even if your contract's expired, if that cell phone is charged, you have to be able to call 911. So maybe one of the things that we can do here in the city of Flint is people that can't afford a cell phone or that sort of thing, or people that want to remain anonymous, get them our old cell phones. Maybe we should start collecting the old cell phones and putting those cell phones on the street. So if something happens, people can call 911 with them.
That's an excellent idea.
That's
an excellent idea.
We need to think outside the box here to see what we can do to protect the citizens and to do this.
Because I got one cell phone. I've given it several ways to like recycling the programs they have for the use for the troops.
Right.
You put them. They give you like a pre-arranged mailer, and you send it to them, and they refurbish the thing and send it to the troops overseas.
Oh, okay.
And they give them minutes and stuff on it so they can call home and stuff like that. And I've done that to a couple of phones. I got one extra one too that I haven't sent yet. So I'll donate that to that kind of program.
I think that'd be great. That's something we should look into too, about getting more cell phones in the street so people can call 911. Believe it or not, some people do not have cell phones and some people do not have home phones. It's just a fact that we're in. The economy's tight. It's a tough time right now, and that's one of the first things that people cut. So if we got these cell phones out there to people and they were able to use them if emergency came up or suspicious activity was seen, it may help reduce crime. And it's just one of the things that we got to do. We got to do a we just got to come up with a multi of different things, array of things to protect the citizens. And I think that's what we're trying to do here. I think what else we need to do is we need to start enforcing all the ordinances. And what I mean by that is a good friend of mine said, the little crime equals big crime. And that's kind of what Rudy Giuliani did in New York, is he focused on the little crime, the loitering, the open intoxicants, the urination in public, the jaywalking. And because those are the activities that then turn into the stealing, the theft, the armed robbery, the shooting, so on and so forth. So if we worked as a community and made sure that the small crimes were enforced and the laws were obeyed and that we ticketed people. If you're jaywalking, you're going to get a ticket. If you're out there with a 40-ouncer of beer in the street corner, you're going to get a ticket. We need to enforce those ordinances to push away that seedy element, to get those people out of the areas that they're in, because quite frankly, the residents of Flint deserve a good community to live in. We deserve to have a quiet and peaceful neighborhoods that are safe for our kids and our families, and we're going to need to start demanding that. The other thing we can do is to get more police walking, get police out there walking on the street. Bring back the mounted horse unit. That was, believe it or not, there was a lot of studies that showed the mounted unit was actually very successful and has been across the country in preventing crime. Bring that back. Let's work as a team, all of us in the city, to come up with these ideas. Let's have a crime summit, so to speak, and come up with ideas that we can do that's going to protect our families. I want to welcome Go Eashoo in the chat room. Go Eashoo states, Ryan, what about starting more neighborhood watches? And I know you just joined us, but that's right. That's what we want to do, is we want to make sure that we keep the neighborhood watches that are active, efficient, and we want to start new ones. We want to mobilize the citizens, get the youth involved, make it something that's fun, not just, we're going to watch crime. Let's have a card playing night. Let's have a bake sale, a cookout, a potluck. Let's do those things. Let's have a Halloween party for the kids. Let's make it so everybody's involved and it's a fun thing to do, because let's be honest, who wants to do something that's not fun? I don't. And I know that a lot of people out there don't either. So let's make it a fun thing. Let's make people that are involved continue to be. And the people that aren't, that are burnt out, or they just don't care, or they think that their voice doesn't matter, let's bring them back to the table and get them participating and keeping Flint safe. if you want to join us, you can. You can go to flinttalkradio.com. You can join us there. You can send us an email, ryaneashoo@aol.com. And you can also chat with us live in our chat room. If you have a webcam, we can see you. You can see us in our chat room. Or you can send us an email. You go to flinttalkradio.com to discuss that. We're going to continue this discussion more in the upcoming week. I'm looking for your suggestions, your questions, your answers. I'm looking for volunteers out there that are willing to come to the table and put on a crime summit that's basically going to help people defend themselves. It's going to help get neighborhood watches started, and it's going to give people the tools that they need to improve our community. That's all we have for today. We're going to get going with the Vampire Ball tonight. We appreciate you guys tuning in to the Ryan Eashoo Show. We appreciate all the support that we've received. And we'll see you Wednesday at 4:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. on the Ryan Eashoo Show with flinttalkradio.com. Bye for now and bye-bye.